Alright, hello everybody. This is chapter 3 of Lilith, Adam and Eve, the dark, the gray, the light. And the chapter is going over Mars, the secret space program, um, 17 and Tiriel. Alright, so let's get into this. Chapter 3. The crimson wasteland of Mars, sprawled beneath a bruised sky, a graveyard where the ghost of the dead sun whispered secrets to the wind. Once, in the mythic days of Saturn, planets warred for Saturn's favor, and Mars stood sentinel, its surface a scarred canvas of cosmic conflict. The planet's wounds sang in a symphony of sorrows, and shadows spilled across the dunes like the spilled ink of forgotten epics. Craters yawned, each mouth retelling tales of violence and betrayal. Every wind-blown grain etched new legends, blood-ink histories, and the echoes of wars that shaped Mars into a threnody of stars. Even the dunes seemed to breathe, shifting with memories of lost worlds. In this haunted, red dread wore the shape of a silhouette, a guardian disguised to keep horror alive. Whispers threaded the air, ghostly voices drifted with the wind, tangled with the secrets of iron and ozone, winding through ancient wreckage forgotten by time's icy hands, shattered helms, shattered dreams. Amid the ruins, 17 led his soldiers, a phalanx of battered legends, through the cindered plain. His armor glittered with the constellations of past battles. Each dent, a scorch mark, became a memory. Every step on brittle stone was a summons to ghost, the past echoing in the present. Exhaustion clung to them like red twilight, yet in 17's gaze burned a wild, unbroken fire, a promise that even here hope could smolder. As they trudged forward, 17 paused to adjust a battered emblem on his chest, an ancient insignia of victories long past, a silent testament to his resolve. He then turned to a nearby comrade, sharing a quiet, knowing smile. The gesture was small but powerful, a reminder that every wary warriors could find strength in camaraderie. At his side, Tiriel moved with careful, graceful steps. He stood apart from 17 soldiers, his mantle of keys glowing threads, flickering softly, as if Gaia's light mourned through him. Against a ridge where shadows shifted, his slim form trembled as he breathed in the metallic air. With sharp, watchful eyes, he scanned the horizon, searching for signs of Enlil's shadow, the enemy hunted across space and time. They had come to this forsaken clearing, believing it to be Enlil's final stronghold, a last stand against his iron reign. But the sight was a hollow void, a cruel mockery where truth should have stood. 17's jaw clenched in silent fury, and then his shoulders sagged as frustration smoldered beneath his stoic facade. His breath fogged in the chill, voice rough with fatigue, he growled. He slipped away from us again, but we regroup, we endure, we push forward, even if all hope seems lost. We end this evil terror. Tiriel stood by the ridge, his expression unreadable. 17 turned to him, his voice edged with impatience. What do you make of this, Tiriel? Were we misled? Deception has always been in Lil's game. Tiriel replied, tension lacing his words, but this emptiness speaks of something more sinister. Perhaps we underestimate the reach of his plans. Seventeen felt a spike of irritation, or overestimated our understanding, he bit back, not masking doubt in his voice. You were meant to guide us, he challenged. Tiriel's gaze met 17's, a storm brewing in his eyes. Guidance doesn't mean certainty, he retorted. History is soiled with half-truths and shadows. We act on what little clarity we grasp before the dark swallows it again. The tension between them hung heavy in the air. 17's brow furrowed, impatience sharpening his tone as he leaned closer. Then who is orchestrating this? He demanded answers with a fierce urgency. Tiriel's eyes darkened. A storm gathered in their depths. Yaldabaoth, he said. The name hung like a curse in the air. A false god, the one pulling Gadril's strings, a god who hates his own creation. Yaldabaoth despises this realm. Severed from the All's light, he seeks the convergence, a collision of universes, to challenge the Creator's throne. His failures scar his existence, an unhealed wound driving his ceaseless ambition. Yaldabaoth, mired in his own isolation, consumed by a hunger for dominion, seeks to fulfill the void left by his exile. However, his plans hinge on Sophia and Adam. His gaze is fixed on Sophia's light so that she will lead Adam to the gateway to recreate reality. By ensnaring Adam, Yaldabaoth intends to use him as a pawn to open the path to the convergence, heightening the stakes of this struggle. 17's gaze burned, hunger for answers etching his features. What followed Tiamat's fall? Tiriel's sigh was a weight, his mantle shimmering as if echoing his grief. He said, Enlil's machines came to Mars. Sophia endured after Enlil combined Lilith and Aphrodite within her. She drank the essence of Yaldabaoth. For now her unity holds against his will, but he seeks to shatter her light, to stoke darkness, perhaps Lilith's fire, perhaps worse. I died and was recreated twice, once by Gaia and Ki, and once as Adam, my memories stripped by Enlil's curse, bound into Tiamat's reincarnation cycle. We fought Enlil and faced Gadril for Tiamat's soul. The true enemy is Yaldabaoth. He pulls all the strings. He is the deceiver. The words wove a tapestry of loss, defiance heavy as the cost of wars, of the cost as the cost of wars unwon. 17 exhaled, voice wary but unbroken, his scarred hands clenched. I crossed time to prepare for a final battle. Yalbadeoth, a shadow I didn't see. When I return to the future, how do I kill a god? Tiriel's gaze softened. Through his eyes betrayed a melancholy deeper than any words could convey. A spark of camaraderie pierced his solemnity. I do not have an answer to that question, he said, his voice steady, a flicker of hope in the gloom. But we'll carve a way, 17. We always do. You and I come from the same essence, the same being, just from different times. Tiriel paused, the weight of ages settling upon his shoulders, each word trailing sadness and resolve. Although I feel sad that I'm in this fight for hundreds of thousands of years, nonetheless, I'm still fighting. Each battle echoes in my mind, every fallen ally a shadow on my spirit. Yet there is a stubborn ember within me, refusing to be snuffed out, a flame kindled by the belief that our struggle has meaning, even amidst the chaos. A faint hum cut through the air. Jolt. 17 sensors activated. We're not alone, he said. We're not alone, he said, his voice sharp. Metal flickered as his eyes narrowed at the ridge. A drone appeared, sleek and menacing, marked by Gadril's malice. Soldiers to arms. Mars wakes. The wind howled, carrying the drone's hum as a sign of chaos, and a hint of Yalbadeoth's reach across time and space. 17 stood firm, Tiriel beside him, their fingers outlined against the red dunes, united in their promise to resist the false god. Yet, amidst the rising tumult, a flicker of fear crept into 17's heart, a fear that perhaps they were fighting a battle destined to repeat through endless cycles. Sophia, a planet away in Eden, stirred in her dreams as the darkness of her nightmares grew closer, her hope tethered to their struggle. A being of profound importance, Sophia embodied the light capable of challenging Yalbadeoth's influence. Her connection to 17 and Tiriel was significant. She was not only tethered to their cause, but also a crucial element in the cosmic struggle, her actions and choices capable of shifting the balance in their favor. The shadow of the convergence loomed, a grim reminder that destinies interwoven through time might unravel. As the tension thickened, a whisper of doubt lingered in 17's mind, urging him to question, could they truly thwart a god? Yet within that doubt, a thread of hope preserved, pulling them toward the next chapter of their uncertain fate. And this has been a Chapter 3 um, 17, Tiriel, Mars, beginning. And I'll see you tomorrow for chapter 4.